Welcome back, everybody. Today we're doing a deep dive into ZZ Top.
All right.
You know them for their beards and bluesy riffs. But
Yeah.
there's so much more to these Texas legends.
There is a lot more to them.
And then meets the eye.
Yeah. Just starting with the longevity is truly remarkable.
Yeah.
They hold the record for the longest-running American rock band with its original lineup intact.
That's right, 52 years.
52 years with Gibbons Hill and Beard together.
Gibbons Hill and Beard.
That's longer than some bands even exist.
Longer than some bands even exist.
Talk about that.
I know, it's crazy. And those iconic beards, they came about during a break they took from 1977 to 1979.
It's true.
I mean,
And it's interesting to note that Frank Beard, the drummer,
yeah.
ironically the only member without a beard.
The
Even before the Beards, though, a young Billy Gibbons
right?
was already turning heads in the music world.
Oh, yeah.
Jimi Hendrix himself recognized Gibbons as a rising star.
A prodigy.
Called him one of America's best young guitarists on The Tonight Show.
I mean, that's huge.
That kind of early endorsement from a legend like Hendrix definitely helped put them on the map.
Oh, yeah. To have the cosign from Jimi Hendrix that early on in your career.
You're on your way.
That's, yeah.
It's not just hearsay either.
Right.
Gibbons, with his previous band Movin' Sidewalks,
Okay.
opened for Hendrix back in 1968.
Whoa.
You could say they were destined to cross paths.
Yeah.
And here's a fun fact for you.
Okay.
ZZ Top were both the first and last band to play Denver's McNichols Arena.
Wow.
Talk about bookend in an era.
Yeah, I mean,
They were there for the venue's entire lifespan.
I love that.
And to make things even more coincidental,
Okay.
all three members were born in the same year,
Okay.
1949.
No way.
Talk about a shared journey from the very beginning.
That's wild.
Now, there's this popular story about how they got the name ZZ Top.
Right.
That involves a barn door and rolling papers.
I've heard that. Yeah, that's a myth, right?
Right, that's just a myth. Billy Gibbons himself has set the record straight.
Oh, really?
The name actually has roots in the blues.
Okay.
Gibbons was a fan of blues legend ZZ Hill,
Okay.
and he liked the idea of being tops in the music world.
Making sense.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, ZZ Top.
And their connection to Texas runs deep.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that they performed for President George W. Bush right before his inauguration in 2001?
I did know that, yeah.
And even before that, when Bush was governor of Texas, he declared May 15, 1997, ZZ Top Day.
Right.
That says a lot about their cultural impact, not just as musicians,
Yeah.
but as Texans.
Uh-huh.
Now we can't talk about ZZ Top without mentioning their legendary manager, Bill Ham.
He was like the fourth member.
He was practically the fourth member of the band.
Yeah.
He produced their first album, got them their initial record deal, and worked with them creatively for years.
Yeah.
You could say he was a major force behind their success.
Absolutely.
He was involved in producing all their albums up until 1996.
Right.
They eventually parted ways in 2006, but there's no denying the influence he had on their career.
Yeah.
Speaking of iconic imagery, let's talk about the Eliminator.
Right.
That 1933 Ford hot rod featured in their videos and artwork.
Yeah.
It became a symbol of the band, and it was actually a passion project for Billy Gibbons.
I did not know that.
He had it customized into a hot rod, and it ended up becoming so popular that he even had a replica built for touring.
Wow.
For a lot of people back then, seeing the Eliminator on MTV was their introduction to the world of hot rods.
Uh-huh.
The band's aesthetic really became iconic.
For sure.
Now let's rewind all the way back to their very first gig.
Okay.
Picture this February 10, 1970, at a Knights of Columbus Hall outside of Houston.
Wow. Not exactly a stadium show.
Not exactly a stadium show, right?
Yeah.
In fact, when the curtain went up, there was only one person in the audience.
One person.
Just one.
What did they do?
Well, Gibbons has said that they shrugged and pressed onwards, even taking a break to buy their lone fan a Coke.
That's awesome.
It's a charming anecdote about their humble beginnings.
Yeah, and speaking of humble beginnings, here's a fact that might surprise you.
Okay.
Before ZZ Top, both Frank Beard and Dusty Hill were part of a fake version of the Zombies.
It sounds unbelievable.
Yeah.
But it's true. This Texas group toured the U.S. pretending to be the Zombies and even played sold-out shows a year after the real band had broken up.
That's amazing.
Amazing.
Did you know they also got a surprising number of votes?
Oh, yeah.
Over 130,000.
Yeah.
In a 1984 Saturday Night Live poll for Democratic presidential candidates.
Yeah, their popularity really went beyond music.
Totally.
Speaking of venturing into different territories,
Right.
they made a memorable appearance in the 1990 film Back to the Future 3rd.
Right.
It's true, they played a square dance band in that movie.
They sure did.
Now, on a more serious note, we have to talk about Dusty Hill's health struggles
Yeah.
and his passing in 2021.
Yeah.
It was a significant loss for the music world. Hill was diagnosed with hepatitis C back in 2000 and even had to cancel shows for treatment. Tragically, while on tour in 2021, he fell ill again.
Right.
Their longtime guitar tech, Elwood Francis, stepped in with Hill's blessing.
Yeah.
Sadly, Hill passed away just days later at 72.
Oh, wow.
The band, though, continued touring with Francis as a permanent member.
That's great.
It's a beautiful tribute to Hill's legacy and a testament to their dedication to the music.
Yeah, absolutely.
And finally, let's circle back to Billy Gibbons himself.
Right.
His father was actually a part of the music industry, too.
Interesting. Tell me more.
Yeah.
His father was a music director at MGM from 1936 to 1944.
Oh, wow.
So music was a part of his life from a very early age.
That makes sense.
Precisely. Gibbons himself once shared that his father taught himself to read music and learn to deliver all sorts of styles.
Yeah.
That early exposure undoubtedly shaped his musical journey.
It's like it was in his blood.
Yeah. It was in his blood,
You know?
in his DNA.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I did not know that about Billy Gibbons' dad. I mean, I knew he was exposed to music at a very young age, but I didn't know his father was a music director.
Yeah. It's pretty fascinating.
Fascinating story.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you have it, folks. That was part 1 of our deep dive into ZZ Top. We'll be right back with part 2.
We'll be right back. Really highlights how our early experiences can shape our passions.
Absolutely.
And speaking of passions, ZZ Top's music has clearly resonated with generations of fans.
For sure.
Their blues-infused rock sound, combined with their unique visual style, created something truly unforgettable.
Yeah, they've got that signature sound. You know, they evolved over the years, but that blues influence always remained.
Right.
And it's what gave their music that raw, authentic energy.
Yeah.
And we can't forget the songwriting, those catchy hooks and memorable lyrics.
Yeah.
That's a big part of what makes them so iconic.
They've described their songwriting process as being very organic and intuitive.
Oh, really?
Gibbons once said that it was about keeping an open mind and letting it happen. It seems that creative freedom really shines through in their music.
It really does.
Speaking of creative freedom, their legendary worldwide Texas tour in 1976 was a spectacle unlike any other.
I've heard stories about that tour. It was like a huge production, right?
It was.
Like the stage was shaped like Texas.
The stage was shaped like the state of Texas.
No way!
They went all out, complete with a steer, snakes, and cacti.
What?
It was a true testament to their Texas roots and their dedication to creating an unforgettable experience for their fans.
That is wild. I love that.
It's just something else.
And speaking of unforgettable, their appearance in the 1990 film Back to the Future Third, you know?
Yeah, that was a fun cameo.
So good.
Showcased their lighter side.
Uh-huh.
They played a square dance band, adding a touch of ZZ Top flair to the Wild West setting.
Yeah, it just shows how versatile they are, you know, as musicians and their willingness to embrace different creative opportunities.
Exactly.
It's these kinds of moments that make ZZ Top such an enduring band.
Their music has become a part of American culture, and their story is one of talent, perseverance, and a deep connection to their roots.
Yeah, I love that.
Now let's delve a little deeper into their musical evolution.
Okay.
While they're known for their blues rock foundation, their sound incorporated elements of hard rock, new wave, and even electronic music over the years.
Yeah, and you could hear it, especially like on Eliminator and Afterburner,
Right?
like that experimentation with synthesizers and drum machines.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they brought in a whole new audience,
Mm-hmm.
but it was interesting how those decisions kind of impacted their sound and their overall legacy.
Some critics argued that they became too commercial during that era, but their fans loved it.
Yeah, I mean, those music videos with the beautiful women and the Eliminator car, I mean, those became MTV staples.
Mm-hmm.
They embraced the whole visual aspect of their music,
Yeah.
and it propelled them to even greater heights of fame. But even with those changes, they never completely abandoned their blues roots.
No, they never did. You can still hear those influences in their later work.
For sure. That's what's so great about them, is they were able to blend genres while retaining their core sound.
It's a testament to their musical talent and vision, and it's what allowed them to stay relevant across decades and appeal to such a diverse audience.
Yeah, I think their guitar work, particularly Billy Gibbons' style,
Mhm.
is a huge part of their signature sound.
He's a true innovator.
Yeah, his use of pinch harmonics sustain that signature fuzzy tone. I mean, it's
Yeah.
influenced countless guitarists.
It wasn't afraid to experiment with different guitars, effects, pedals, and amplifiers to create a unique sound that was both powerful and instantly recognizable.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine ZZ Top without that distinct guitar tone.
It's an essential ingredient in their musical recipe.
It is.
And then there's Dusty Hill's bass plan,
Right.
which provided a solid and groovy foundation for their music.
Cool.
He was a master at creating bass lines that were both melodic and drive-in.
Yeah, his stage presence was also incredible. Him and Gibbons had this undeniable chemistry on stage, and those synchronized movements and just the playful interactions they had.
Yeah.
They were true entertainers.
And let's not forget Frank Beard's drumming,
Oh, yeah.
which provided a powerful and dynamic backbone to their sound. He was known for his steady beats and his ability to adapt to the band's evolving musical styles.
Yeah, he was like the anchor that kept everything together.
Absolutely.
All three members contributed to the band's success in their own unique ways.
They truly were greater than the sum of their parts.
They were.
Their individual talents, combined with their shared passion for music and their unwavering dedication to their craft, resulted in a truly iconic band that left an indelible mark on the world of rock and roll.
Yeah, it's a legacy that continues to inspire and entertain generations of music lovers.
Yeah, it really is incredible to think about their journey, from playing for one person in a small hall to performing for a president and selling millions of records worldwide.
Right.
I mean, what stands out to you most about their story?
I think their resilience is really inspiring. They faced personal and professional challenges, but they never gave up on their music.
They kept evolving and pushing forward, staying true to themselves while adapting to the changing musical landscape.
Yeah, I think their story is a great reminder that success, often involves a long and winding road. It takes persistence and the belief in yourself to overcome obstacles and achieve your goals.
Yeah.
ZZ Top also teaches us to embrace the unexpected.
Right.
Who could have predicted that a fake zombies band from Texas would become one of the most iconic rock groups in history?
Their journey highlights the unpredictable nature of music and the power of taking risks.
Right.
Sometimes those unexpected twists and turns lead to the most remarkable outcomes.
Yeah, I love it.
Now, having explored their music influences and legacy, what are your personal thoughts on ZZ Top?
I love their dedication to their craft. They remained active and continued to create and perform music for over 5 decades. I mean, that level of commitment and passion is something to admire.
Their consistency is impressive.
Yeah.
They never strayed too far from their core sound, even while experimenting with different styles and influences. They understood their strengths and played to them, which is a key factor in their longevity.
Yeah, and what about their cultural impact? I mean, they become synonymous with Texas, but their music has reached fans all over the world.
Right. Their blend of blues, rock, and Texas swagger created a unique and instantly recognizable sound that resonated with people from all walks of life. Their music videos featuring humor, beautiful women, and fast cars also played a role in shaping popular culture.
Yeah, they managed to be both cool and approachable. Rebellious yet relatable. It's no wonder they've achieved such legendary status. Well, that just about wraps up our deep dive into the world of ZZ Top.
All right.
It's been a pleasure talking about these Texas icons.
Always a pleasure.
If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to check out our other deep dives where we explore the stories behind some of the most fascinating figures and events in history.
Until next time.
Keep on exploring.